So I think this is going to be video part 3. Um, as you can tell, I've got a little bit to go still on the project here. But some drama happened as well. When I say that is I built this, or was planning to build this specifically to keep my generator protected during a hurricane. So this is as far as I've got. Well, take that back. Got some cut pieces over here. But this is as far as I've got. And probably started this project, I don't know, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Even joked about maybe not being ready for hurricane season. And basically Hurricane Dorian had a, dead-on path to go right over our house. Planned to be at least a category 3, then was a 4, 5, you know the history there, probably. So as you might imagine, I was not too happy with myself for having dragged my feet on this project because I could have had everything ready. Good news is, crisis averted. Dorian, as you know, went out to sea. We got some winds, but really wasn't a big issue. Never lost power. So that had me feeling a little bit anxious about not having finished this, and also a relief after the storm went, and also laziness crept in again. Then, of course, another storm starts to look like it's going to hit us head on. That one, obviously, it's out to sea now as we speak, but basically have dodged 2 bullets that were specifically planning to hit, projected to hit our house. So, anyways, here I am, going to finish it quick, going to do it right, but want to focus on this and get it done. Famous last words. But one of the reasons why it's not done is this. And I think I mentioned in another video, which would be part 2, got some machines picked up which still are not connected. But gator season, life, kids starting school, dragging home projects when I'm not finished with other ones, things like that. That's not my boat, by the way. It's buddy mine's, but we're going to get it up and running. So anyways, I am going to try to accomplish getting the frame part done this weekend. All right, forgive the mess here, but just a quick test fit of the generator. I did actually have to kind of go into the enclosure to twist it. There's 2 wheels on this. So basically you lift it up off the front little pad there and then roll it that way. So yeah, fits good. You can kind of see all around. Got plenty of room. There you go. I can go a little bit farther back, which I'll try to do. We're right here. Here's the door line, if you will. So looks like I've got plenty of room. This is the first time I put it in there. I did try to purposely not go fully back because I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of room back here just to test fit. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make there is I could potentially push it back a little bit further in before I twist it, and also more this way, which may keep me from having to go in to spin it. Another thought that I had is I've actually lowered this from my original design. We've got some hurricane shutters on the windows, and the bottom part of it is right at 4 foot, just a little bit over 4 foot from there to the ground. So I was hoping to make this entire thing 4 foot, simply because the sheet metal that I got, I thought was 4 foot by 8 foot. It's not. It's wider than 4 foot. So if I'm going to have to cut it, I might as well make it shorter. So I was hoping to be 4 foot and I can just cut it lengthwise, put it right onto here, but nope, I got to cut it both ways. So yeah, I don't know what this is. I think it's 43 inches up to here, thinking another maybe 3 or 4 inches of lid on the top part, which should be good, and just underneath that hurricane shutter spot. So anyways, just a quick update. I've got the bars cut for the fans on this side. So I'll be putting that up. Everything's just tacked up. I wanted to test fit it before I welded everything solid, but we're very close to doing that. I struggled a little bit with, I wanted to brace the back wall, And right now I just got tacked into place a little bit of just kind of 1-inch square tubing. That's probably more than sufficient, but it doesn't fit flush as you might expect. You can see there's a gap here between there. So if I were to put the sheet metal on the back, if I'm going to affix it to that, I need to have something in between there so it doesn't suck it in. Or maybe that's not an issue at all. So I may pull that off. I may kind of notch it so it's flush to the back wall, if you will. Not really sure what I'm going to do there. I may also use some angle iron there and just kind of cut it like I did here. So unsure, but it seems like a waste of material to use the angle iron for that. So yeah, I may pull that out. Not really sure what I'm going to do there. Or I can just put another piece of metal on the back side of that. So sorry for the rambling, but that's where we're at this point. So the other thing is unknown to me is once I cut that sheet metal, how flimsy is it going to be? So as an example, if I cut it and I put it into this part, it's pretty thick. I'm not worried about this being flimsy here. I don't think that's going to be an issue. This side is going to have the braces or have more angle iron across here. So that should be enough to keep it from, it's pretty thick. I forgot what the thickness is of it. But I don't think it's going to be an issue there or too flimsy. But on the back side, really there's nothing there. So even this space here, I'm really unsure of how flimsy it's going to be. So what I think I may start doing is cut a smaller panel first and this panel first and see how really rigid that is at this point before I move to the back. This will probably be the next largest span of sheet metal here, but I may have some sort of bracing across for, the exhaust exit and things like that. I haven't quite figured that out yet. So anyways, there's my ramblings. By the way, I did actually try to create a little hitch mount system there on the bottom. So I spent maybe an hour or 2 hours to, cut all that, measure it, drill it, and then of course I try to hitch it up, and that part on the bottom is too flimsy. So I may just use that same mechanism, but to mount it up here. But just know what you're kind of mounting to, but that ended up being a failure. What I wanted to do is, we got a little bit of length to get it back to where we're gonna, run it. And if it's wet or something to that effect, I was gonna just make it easier to get back there.